Texas Tech has put a premium on sports, but it's not just the athletic department that is making headlines this year. Coming up, we'll show you how a different group of athletes is coming together to represent the university and help secure a special designation on campus.
The Lubbock events calendar was busy this weekend, including here on campus where several Red Raider teams gave fans something to cheer for. Even while braving the West Texas weather, MCTV's Todd Eldridge has a look at the home debut on the diamond for one Red Raider team, along with a preview of the week ahead in sports.
And two of the biggest weeks of sports this year officially ended last night. But before it was all over, one U.S. team made history before the flame was extinguished in Italy. We'll have the details on the Winter Olympics moment for Team USA nearly 50 years in the making.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Logan Lacy.
And I'm Medhin Buriani. The 2026 Winter Olympics officially came to a close yesterday in Italy, but another group of athletes will be competing in a different type of Olympic Games later this year.
And some of those athletes train right here in Lubbock at an on-campus facility that recently received a designation only two other universities in the country can claim. On Tuesday, a ceremony was held at the Rec Center to announce that Texas Tech is a Special Olympics banner bearer school. TTU is one of three universities named as banner bearer schools this year for meeting several achievements. Tech offers unified sporting at least 2 seasons per year. The university is home to a student-led Special Olympics club, and the club participates in university-wide activities such as membership fairs and fundraising events. During last week's ceremony, a banner was unveiled to court number 1 at the Rec Center, publicly acknowledging Texas Tech as a banner bearer school. Brett Jackson with University Recreation says that UREC regularly offers options for students with and without intellectual disabilities to compete on the same team.
Traditionally, we've offered unified flag football, unified basketball. We've done unified soccer, so we try to do something unified both semesters, fall and spring, year-round.
Tuesday's event also featured the introduction of the 2026 Team Texas Unified Basketball Team. The team will travel to Minneapolis this summer to represent the state in the Special Olympics U.S. Games. Team Texas is made up of Red Raiders and local Special Olympics athletes. To learn more about Special Olympics here in Texas and how you can get involved, visit sotx.org.
The midpoint of the spring semester is just around the corner, and many Red Raiders are starting to think about their futures after classes end in May. With that in mind, one of the university's largest colleges hosted a special event to help students discover options for the summer break or the beginning of their professional careers. The Rawls College of Business held their spring career fair last Wednesday at the Lubbock Memorial Civic Center. The fair started at 10 a.m. and featured representatives from hundreds of businesses who were available to meet with students. Attendees could learn about potential internships, part and full-time job opportunities, or just learn more about options for their future careers. Yesterday's fair was exclusively open to business students until 1 p.m., but after that, any Red Raiders could stop by and visit the fair until it finished at 3. The Rawls College of Business Career Fair is held during the fall and spring semester, but if you didn't make it out to the Civic Center last week, it's not the only option for students to connect with a future employer. For more information on all of the job recruiting and resume building events hosted by the Rawls College, visit rawlsbusiness.ttu.edu and click on events under the About tab.
With the semester reaching a halfway point, students are also preparing for one of the most stressful times of the year. Luckily, one campus group regularly offers Red Raiders a way to get a head start on prep for mid-semester exams and class projects. The Countdown to Midterms event took place on Wednesday in the Sub Ballroom. The event kicked off at 10 a.m. and featured free food, study supplies, and representatives from a variety of free campus support resources available to all Red Raiders. Students could also take advantage of dedicated study spaces throughout the ballroom to do homework or midterm planning. Red Raider Academic Success organizes Countdown to Midterms, bringing in full-time and student staff from groups such as the Learning Center, TSI Tutoring, and the Undergraduate Writing Center.
I believe this event is really good for Texas Tech community because it helps with preparing for the exams and, feeling like everyone is in this together and that it's like a comfortable service for students to come in, and if they are unaware of the services that Texas Tech provides, it's all here in this sub ballroom.
The Countdown to Midterms event wrapped last Wednesday at 3 p.m., but if you missed it, you still have time to take advantage of free academic resources available for students. For much more information, contact one of your college's student success specialists. You can find a complete list by visiting studentengagement.ttu.edu and clicking on Student Success Specialists near the top of the page. The final weekend of February included mostly sunny skies, a light breeze, and normal temperatures for this time of year. It might have felt a little cool, but Saturday and Sunday's official high of 55 degrees is right around the average for the end of February.
Cooler temperatures have not been the norm so far this year, and it looks like that trend is going to continue as we head into the final week of the month. Let's take a look at the MCTV forecast. Bright and sunny skies have returned on the MCTV tower cam again today. Temperatures started out near freezing this morning, but highs should climb into the low 60s by this afternoon. Today's temperatures are almost exactly what we expect during this time of year, but after today, it will be much warmer across the South Plains. Temperatures will start out about freezing tomorrow morning and quickly climb into the 70s and 80s in the afternoon. That trend will continue with unseasonably warm highs expected the rest of the week. The high temperatures along with the lack of moisture are continuing to create drought conditions across the South Plains. Not only is this a problem for local farmers, but conditions are currently just right for wildfires anywhere on the South Plains. Rain is not in the forecast as of right now, but windy conditions are expected to return tomorrow with the chance of another West Texas dust storm. Other than that, spring-like conditions continue into the week, but looking ahead, models are currently showing a cold front that could drop temperatures back to normal by the end of the weekend.
Texas Tech Athletics stayed busy this weekend with a couple of teams putting on a show here on campus, while others defended the red and black out on the road.
Another non-stop week of action starts again tomorrow, and MCTV's Todd Eldridge joins us with all the details on the latest action along with what's ahead on this week's schedule in sports. Todd?
Thank you, Logan and Medhin. Red Raider basketball took on Kansas State here in the Hub City, setting a regular season record in the process. Christian Anderson hits another shot from long distance as Tech dominated K-State 100-72. Tech hit a total of 13 threes in the win and have been making their mark in Tech history books from beyond the arc. The Red Raiders have broken the single-game three-point record with 17 made against Baylor. They set the season record with 314 threes, improving last season's 289 from downtown. Donovan Atwell keeps extending his individual school record with 100 made threes, and he now chases the men's NCAA record set by Stephen Curry and Darius McGee at 162, while Caitlin Clark owns the overall NCAA record with 201 three-pointers. Here's Coach McCasland after the win.
You know, I think the numbers are somewhat similar in regards to Lawan, Donovan, Christian, and Jalen, and Tyree for that matter. But what you've added is a guy, Josiah, who hasn't played, and Luke, who hasn't played. And then now you're seeing what Mario's capable of doing when he's at least been able to practice. So, man, what a fun game to be a part of, just because it's going to take everybody, and we're going to need everybody to be great.
Tech continues their campaign tomorrow at home against Cincinnati. That game is at 6 p.m. on ESPN2. The Lady Raiders took on Colorado in Boulder for what would be a heated contest. We go to the fourth, all tied up at 63, and it's a blocked shot that causes the shot clock violation for Colorado. Later, Tech down 4, and Maupin drains the 3 to bring it within 1 point, but that would be the Lady Raiders' last point scored as Colorado came out on top 75-68. Here's Coach Gerlich after the game.
They cranked their defense up. They were super physical. We struggled to get into any looks that we needed to get into. We couldn't get to the free throw line even. So yeah, I mean, I think it was the difference between really 2 quarters, because I thought the third quarter that we really controlled it and grew a lead, and then they adjusted, and we didn't have an answer for that.
Springtime means a full weekend of baseball and softball, and the Hub City delivered nearly perfect spring ball weather. After a disastrous start to the season in the Shriners Classic, going 0-3 in the contest, the Raiders have gotten back on track with their last 5 games. starting with a 21-12 win over UT Rio Grande Valley on Tuesday, followed by a complete series sweep over the University of Albany over the weekend. The streak puts Tech at 5-3 on the season. Tech begins a nearly month-long homestand this weekend with a series against CSU Bakersfield starting Friday at 2 p.m. After that, Tech will have home matchups against Penn State, UTSA, and Kansas at Dan Law Field. From baseball to softball, the victory bells kept ringing. After dropping an exhibition match against Team Japan 1-0 on Thursday, Tech softball returned to domination over the weekend. Tech would run-rule Bethune-Cookman, defeat Cal State Fullerton by 3 runs, down San Diego State 5-0, and run-rule UC Riverside 16-0 in a game where Caitlin Terry would throw a scoreless no-hitter. Tech softball continues their red-hot streak as their only official loss came against Nebraska in the title game of their Shriners Classic. Tech softball is finally back home this week to host the Janine McCaney Memorial Classic. Tech opens up play at Rocky Johnson Field on Thursday against Abilene Christian at 5 p.m. And now we go to Tech Golf, who wrapped up play at the Prestige Tournament this weekend. Tech started off rocky in round 1, shooting 7 over par and quickly falling behind. But the Tech team had a solid round 2, shooting 9 under par for a total of 2 under par and finishing the second place behind Stanford's 5 under. Tech would finish with 2 top 5 shooters as Price Hill shot 6 under and Adam Bresnu finished 3 under par. Tech claimed the second spot of 24 teams in the tournament. Next up, Tech will head to the Haight Tournament at Sawgrass in Point Verde Beach, Florida on the weekend of March 7th. On the women's side, their last action had them come in 4th at the Thunderbird Intercollegiate. Up next for them is the Lady Luck Invitational in Las Vegas starting March 2nd. The action keeps rolling on to the tennis courts now. Tech men's tennis faced Georgia Tech in Atlanta on Sunday, dropping the close match 2-4. Tech would drop every doubles match and would only manage 2 wins in the singles matches out of Tiago Guglieri and Ludovico Vaccari. The 6-4 Tech tennis squad looks to get back into winning ways against Oral Roberts on Thursday at 11. Meanwhile, the women's tennis team went 2-1 over the weekend at the Red Blue Invitational in Tucson. They would fall against number 11 Arizona State 4-1. They would then sweep Grand Canyon 4-0 and best Iowa 4-2. The women's tennis team currently sits at 8-3 on the season, and their next match is against Kansas in Lawrence on Friday. Even more action over the weekend for Tech fans to enjoy as the track and field team hosts the Big 12 Indoor Championships beginning this Friday. All of that action will be in the Sports Performance Center here on campus and will get underway starting at 11 a.m. After a red-hot season that included Texas Tech's first Big 12 title and their first appearance in the college football playoffs, excitement for the 2026 season is at an all-time high. Tech Athletics announced the spring schedule for football activities, including the annual Red-Black Spring Game slated for April 17th. Tech has posted the full schedule on its social media sites, giving fans plenty of opportunity to glimpse a preview of what is to come with Tech football and star NIL transfer quarterback Brendan Sorsby. That was everything Tech sports on an action-packed spring weekend, and Tech Athletics shows no signs of slowing down. So to keep up to date with the latest news and scores, check in with MCTV Sports every Monday and Thursday. For now, I'm Todd, your resident non-trad sports nut, and it's back to you, Medhin and Logan.
Thanks, Todd. Texas Tech sports have been enough to keep many fans busy this past weekend, but Red Raiders, along with people around the United States, found some extra time to watch and cheer on another team yesterday.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, the 2026 Winter Olympic Games wrapped up on Sunday. There were many memorable moments, but one last highlight brought an American team to the top of the medals podium for the first time in 46 years. The U.S. men's hockey team competed in the gold medal game starting at 7 a.m. our time on Sunday morning. The team faced Canada in the Olympic final for an epic showdown that ended in overtime. Just under 2 minutes into OT, USA Hockey's Jack Hughes knocked in the game-winning goal to secure a gold for the team for the first time since 1980. The game came down to a 3-on-3 showdown against the United States' northern rival, with the help of goalie Connor Hellebuck, who stopped 41 shots to keep the team alive to the final score. Team USA's previous win in the men's hockey is known as the Miracle on Ice, as the Americans upset the Soviet Union during the Olympic Games in Lake Placid, New York. 46 years later to the day, Team USA also achieved another miracle, but unlike 1980, the Americans were favored to win in the Milan Cortina Games.
So Logan, did you watch yesterday's gold medal hockey game?
Yeah, I woke up right at 7 a.m. and my eyes were glued to the TV the whole time. What about you?
I didn't get a chance to watch it, but it was such a great win for Team USA.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's all for today's edition on the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.